Hello, good evening. How are we doing? Here we are, hurtling through April. It seems like ages since I've sat here and shared with you. It's lovely to be here sharing with you this evening. I can see out of my little study window that the sun is just setting and it looks beautiful out there. So how are you doing? If you're joining me, the usual #live, and if you're on replay, #replay. So first question, before I even introduce myself, how many of you have been lucky enough to go to the hairdressers? How many of you have been lucky enough to have your nails done or your eyebrows? Well, I still haven't got there yet. May the 6th. I'm really looking forward to it. You'll probably hear me cheering all the way from Birmingham, which is where I live. So you'll probably be able to tell that by my accent. I don't bring an interpreter with me, so I will try and speak clearly. But how are you doing? Wherever you're joining me from in the world, say hi. Let me know you're there. So this evening, I'm going to talk to you about fighting for your dreams, because this whole last year has been like this pause moment for many of us. And some of us have got going and some of us have stopped going. And it can be challenging as lockdown starts to lift. Some of us are confused about where we should go, what path we should follow, what should we do. And I want to just give you some inspiration tonight to help you, because I can sense that many people are weary and tired. So my name's Debbie Huxton and I'm a life coach. I love what I do and I love seeing my clients achieve their dreams. I started my career at 18 years of age as a chef. I went to catering college when I left school and I did 2 years as a chef at catering college in the middle of Birmingham. I qualified as a chef and then I got a job as a chef for the British Army. And that's how I met my husband. And I love cooking. I love to feed people. And then I got married. I got married at 19 and I went to live in Germany. I went to live in Germany for 10 years where all 3 of my children were born. So I lived abroad and I looked after special needs children. When I was a little girl, I always wanted to be a nurse and a chef all at the same time. But I was often told, you can't do both. You can't have it all, Debbie. You're going to have to choose one path. At the stage of choosing my career at age 18, I went with what I felt comfortable with because I knew food. I'd been taught how to cook as a child. Lots of my life as a child was spent in the kitchen with my grandparents. I've got Indian grandparents. And so my dad's mom is Indian and my dad's dad was Welsh. My mother's parents were Irish. So a big foodie family. So I'd always been brought up around food. So it was comfortable for me to go to catering college and settle into that groove. Then when I went to live abroad, couldn't really cater. I'm living in a foreign country. I can't speak the land. I've got young children, the language. I've got young children. What am I going to do? I had the opportunity to then become a childminder for special needs children, and I specialised in children with autism. It meant that I could look after those children with my own children at home. So I did that whilst I was out in Germany. And whilst I was out there, halfway through, 5 years in, I then went on to start building a business, which was very successful. When I came back here to the UK, I then decided to pursue, and I'm telling you this for a reason, to pursue my career as a nurse, going back to my childhood. That was the one thing that I wanted to do, but I didn't, because I didn't think I'd got the talent or the qualification or the know-how. And I was writing myself off before I'd even given myself an opportunity. Well, I went to university. I got a degree in nursing, not a Bachelor of Science, but a Bachelor of Nursing. And the honours part was in stress management. I wrote a 30,000-word dissertation in stress management. And when I left university, they said to me, when you apply for a job, you can't apply for a job in an emergency department. They don't take first-year nurses. I was like, okay. I applied and got the job. So if I'd have listened to those voices that kept telling me that I couldn't do things and didn't push through and try, I would never have achieved what I achieved. During my time as a nurse, I knew that I wanted to take health in a whole different direction. I didn't just want to try and cure people. I wanted to teach people about prevention. I wanted to teach them about how this affects the body. So I started to do my research, and then I went on to set up my own business as a life coach specializing in health and nutrition. And then then that went really well. And then I started to help people do that, and it evolved into something else where I was helping people just being their sounding board as they built their businesses, as life happened to them while they were building business. Then I took some time out. During that time out, I was able to evaluate where I was. I looked after my mother-in-law, who had serious Alzheimer's and vascular dementia. She came to live with us, and I nursed her until the very end of her life. And she didn't go into hospital. She passed away peacefully in this house with us nursing her. And it was a privilege to be able to do that. And I know not everybody can do that, but that was what we chose to do. And with my nursing skills, it was all agreed. So then I found myself in a position of, what do I do now? How do I combine? If I could do anything, how do I combine my passion for health and well-being, for seeing people do well, for seeing people achieve their dreams, for cheering other people on, for being the encourager that I am? How do I combine all of that with my faith, with knowing that there's much more to life? And so that journey of discovery has been happening over the last 18 months. And when we went into this time of lockdown, things really accelerated because we had that time to just pause and really think and reflect. We have an opportunity to come out of lockdown lifted up. And I want to encourage you tonight, as we come out of this lockdown, don't go back to what was. Go forward to what is and can be. So I want to inspire you. I want to encourage you to press on into your dreams. So when I'm working with people, I'm their sounding board. I'm their go-to person, that person they just need to talk to for that little bit of wisdom and guidance. I don't tell people what to do. It's up to me to help facilitate, to draw out of the solutions and the gold that's already inside each and every single human being. So I help people unlock the gold inside themselves. And when that happens, life transforms. So it's fantastic. Every one of us has dreams, but not every person is able to achieve those dreams. And there are a lot of reasons why. And perhaps it could be self-doubt. Maybe people are just full of self-doubt. It can be down to the environment that they live in, the encouragement that they don't get. It can be down to lack of financial capability, down to lack of guidance, or maybe they don't even know what they want. But there are still people that I meet each and every day online at the moment, wanting to reach out to the stars and grab them to the moon and back. They want to go and achieve their dreams. So if you're one of those people watching me right now, fantastic, because I'm going to take you through what I have, strategies that I share with my clients to inspire and motivate and encourage. So the first thing is, if you've got your pen and paper, you know me, I'm always telling people to take notes. They don't call me Mama Hux for nothing. So you may have heard the saying, knowledge is power. Okay, I want to change that. Okay, I want to switch that. Knowledge is power only if it is applied. So you can have all the knowledge in the world, but if you're not applying it, it's powerless. It's not serving its purpose. It only becomes knowledge only becomes activated and powerful if you apply it to your life. So knowledge is powerful when it is applied. So if you've got your pen and paper, the first thing we need to consider is we need to know who we are and what we want. So you need to get to know yourself. You need to become self-aware. You need to go on a bit of a journey of discovery, and that's what life coaches help you do. So getting to know yourself, that first moment. The next time I come and do a live, I'm going to share about self-awareness and how to really tap into that, how to release your intentions through that by knowing yourself more. If you don't know yourself, how do you expect other people to get to know you? And when I'm working with people, I sit with them, and as they discover who they really are, they're blown away. They're like, it's like sitting next. Who is that person? That's you. And they're like, wow. So get to know yourself, know who you are and know what you want. So you need to know your identity, because then it's easier for you to identify what you really want. Knowing who you are and what you want helps you in setting a clear path to success and achieving your dreams. Some of you may be doing things that actually they don't float your boat. It's just to put money in the bank. Money is just the result of the action. And if we're taking actions to earn money that don't float our boat, we are going to be so demoralized and we're wasting life. People may argue, yeah, but I've got bills to pay. Yes. And you can pay them doing what you love if you would just be prepared to get to know yourself, know who you are, and know what you really want. Uncertainty in yourself and your dreams, it's going to hinder you from conquering it. We want you to be overcomers, not overwhelmed. So when you're a stranger to yourself, you may find it hard to look for a purpose. So you need to take time for self-discovery. This is the first step in fighting for your dreams. Oh, I got itchy nose. Then you need to develop skills and talents. Okay, so we need to look for ways to develop skills and talents. If you want to be a dancer, which I certainly don't, I love a good boogie, but you wouldn't put me in a tutu. But if you want to be a dancer, you need to develop those skills and talents. You need to sign up for dancing classes. If you can't afford to take classes, you need to practice on your own. Go on YouTube and find those videos. You need to learn from others. Find somebody that would help you. Don't let yourself be limited by lack, by looking at, I don't have money to have a dancing lesson. And by the way, I'm not telling everyone to be dancers. This is just an analogy, just an example, but let's just say you wanted to be a chef. Then you need to learn how to cook. And how do you learn how to cook? Well, you need to probably go to catering college and take some courses. Start off by watching YouTube. Find out what you can, do the research. Then you need to continually improve, continually work on you, because your journey in life is an ongoing journey. You have not arrived at your destination until the end of your life. Your life is a lifelong journey, a lifelong lesson of learning. And those people that refuse to learn or step off the train, the learning train, are going to struggle. And if you don't apply those things, then you are lacking wisdom and you're lacking power, because the knowledge is just residing in you, but it's not doing anything. So never stop trying to improve the things that you do best. The world is very competitive and you've got lots of competitors out there, but don't let that stop you, because there's only one you. There's only one you. So if you know yourself, other people can get to know you, because they're not buying your product and service really, they're buying you. So there could be a whole line of life coaches, but if people have got to know me and I've built relationships with them, and then they get the idea and the flavor for who I am, they're like, well, I know her, I trust her, so I'm likely to go and buy from her and utilize her business because I can see her track record and I can sense her confidence because she knows who she is. She knows what she wants. She knows her gifts and skills and talents. And clearly she's somebody that improves on them on an ongoing basis. So I had the privilege of having a few clients come back to me that I used to coach. And all of them have said to me, Debbie, it's so good to be back in your company, but my gosh, you've grown. I'm looking at myself going, yeah, I am probably a few pounds heavier since lockdown. But they're like, no, there's something more than that. And that thing that they're talking about, it's just confidence. It's not arrogance. It's confidence because years have gone by and I've continued to develop myself. I've not stagnated. So this is really important for you. And this can be really boring for stuff because it's for people. It's not really the sexy part of business, but it's the most fundamental, foundational part of your business. This is how you sustain a business, by working on yourself. Then you need to set up connections to achieve your dreams. So talent is not enough to make it on your own. You need to set yourself up for connections, and you need to listen to the end of this broadcast, because what I'm going to share at the very end of this broadcast is really going to fire you up. You're going to go, wow, I didn't know that. Or if you did know that, I'm going to remind you of it and you're going to go, wow, yeah, I need to hold on to that. So talent isn't enough to make it on your own. You need to set yourself up with connections and relationships. Surround yourself with people who can help you achieve what you want, but don't become a taker. Don't become somebody that just wants to take. Be somebody that wants to connect and interact. And interaction is a two-way process. It's not a one-way process. So be a giver and not a taker. Have a generous heart. The more you give, the more you get. I encourage you to try that. Don't operate from a heart of lack. So surround yourself with people who can help you achieve what you want. If you are somebody that is aspiring to build, I don't know, it's just coming to my head, a fitness business, then you need to surround yourself with people that are in fitness so that you can have trusted advisors around you that know what they're talking about when it comes to developing that side of your business, when it comes to the equipment to use, when it comes to the classes to teach. And you need to surround yourself with with all of those things. You need to surround yourself with people and network with people in that arena. So people that sell the equipment, people that do the classes, other fitness instructors, and create that lovely peer circle of people that can hold each other's hand, but you understand what you're talking about. For most people, it's not what you know, but rather who you know. Always aim for more connections, but don't do what many people do, which is a real no-no for me. If you're on LinkedIn or even on Facebook, don't send private messages telling people about your business before you've got to know them. It's just not. It's you know, it's like dating someone and asking them to go to bed with you before you've even met. It's like blind dating and you haven't even gone on the blind date. It's just ugly. It's just uncomfortable. I tell you, the amount of times that all the time, delete these messages. I've got no inclination whatsoever to get involved with these people because they're just selling at me. They need to let me know about themselves before I know about their business. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So you need to develop and build relationships within your networks. Don't spam people with messages if you don't know them, unless they've asked you to. And even then, don't spam them. Try and develop relationship with them. So always aim to build connections. The other thing you need to do to start building up the foundations of being able to fight for your dreams is don't pay attention to destructive criticism. And there's two voices that I'm talking about here. The first one is that inner critic inside you. That's the worst one of all. But also those people outside that may be jealous, that may be trying to hold you back. There's this analogy of crabs in a basket. When crabs are caught in their crab basket, when one tries to climb up out of the basket to escape, the others will pull it back down and pull its legs off. That can happen when you're trying to build a business. Other people around you suddenly go, who does she think she is? What is going on here? Not having that. So they start to say things that are negative and derogatory, or they may not say it to your face, but they may say it behind your back, and then it gets back to you. Don't go in for a fight. Pick your battles wisely. Not all battles need fighting. The greatest proof is in your success. So never let anybody's words bring you down. It's nothing but trash talking and ways to degrade you and hold you back. Pay no attention to it. Only surround yourself with words that can help you build up and improve yourself. Constructive criticism is the very best criticism, and that's okay if you've given someone permission to give it to you. Learn to accept harsh but constructive words. And even then, somebody that's giving you constructive criticism, if they are emotionally intelligent, they will know that the way they deliver the message is to be with kindness and compassion, and in a way that would not be harsh and cause a problem. But be prepared for feedback from those trusted advisors, those people that you would take advice from. And so these are the building blocks in becoming a better you and better at whatever you do best. When you focus on the positive, you are more likely to become successful in achieving your dreams. The story of the hare and the tortoise, slow and steady. My kids, this is their story. It's what I've told them since they were little. Yes, it's okay if you want to go fast, and there'll be times and seasons in your business when there is acceleration and it seems to be really speeding ahead and you're trying to keep up with it, and that's okay. But slow and steady really wins the race, because that's how you build perseverance. That's how you build consistency. Keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. The thing is, people try something once, twice, 3 times, it doesn't work, so they snap their fingers and go, it's not for me, it's not working, that's clearly not the right way. You're so wrong. I've been in business now since 2010, so 11 years. I will say that over this next year, it's probably going to be my biggest year in business, and I've had some big years. But it's consistency. Those clients that knew me 6 years ago that suddenly see that I'm back in the game are going, oh, hello, how lovely. Shall we have a get together? Oh, can I book a session? Come on, this is what we have to do. You have to keep in the game, keep yourself seen, keep yourself known. So even though I wasn't running my business, I was still on social media, I was still interacting with people. So I want to encourage you, consistency is key. You've got to keep doing it over and over and over again. As you're going to hear at the end of this broadcast, you're going to hear why that is so important. So don't give up at the first hurdle, the second hurdle, or the third hurdle. If it doesn't work first time, try again. If it doesn't work second time, try again. If it doesn't work third time, try again. If it doesn't work fourth time, try again. If it doesn't work fifth time, try again. The secret key here is your attitude, your state of mind. Because if you give up at the first, second, third, fourth, fifth hurdle, what happens if the sixth moment, the sixth try was the one? Because every time you go in and then you withdraw yourself out, you're sending a message, not just to the universe, but to others that you're not consistent. You're sending a message to others that you're not trustworthy or reliable. They're not saying you're not likable, but these are subliminal messages that we're sending to people from our actions and behaviors. So this is so important. Don't give up. If you have a strategy for success, if you have a program or a product that you know works, you've seen it work with 1, 2, 3 people, a handful of people, but your goal is to make it work on a bigger scale, do not give up, because it's there for the taking. As we come out of lockdown, this is the time, this is the season of the entrepreneur to have your irons in the fires, to not have all your eggs in one basket. This is the season of the entrepreneur. There's a reformation happening in the business world. If you don't get on board with it, if you don't really take stock of your mindset, you're going to miss out. But some of you have in your hands an absolute gold mine, which is why I say about unlocking the gold in people. And you've got it. It's sat there. It's been there for ages, but you still keep overlooking it because it didn't work the first time and you were demoralized. It didn't work the second time and it was like, what? This can't be true. It didn't work the third time. Stop. Take what you have and keep trying. Don't keep trying to change everything. Take what you have and use it as it is. Trust me, when you hear what I've got to say at the end, it's that I pray the penny drops. So slow and steady is okay. Nobody's ever become successful overnight. It takes months and years of hard work, persistence, and effort. You know, I'm lucky if I get 5 hours sleep a night. Why? Because right now there is opportunity before me. I'm not worried about my sleep. I can sleep long enough when I'm dead. However, I'm teaching classes in the US, which require me to be teaching at 2 a.m. in the morning when in the UK, most of us are asleep. I have got these opportunities before me that I'm not going to give up. But the reason they've come my way is not overnight. This is about building relationships, building trust, building and developing myself. But the product remains the same. For those people that know me from 3, 4, 5 years ago, the product is still the same. I'm still the same person, but I've evolved, I've grown, and people like that. It's inspiring, it's encouraging. It shows them there's hope. It shows them that you walk the walk, you don't just talk the talk. So it's so important that you understand that it's not an overnight success to keep going. Because when you understand and take hold of this, when you know that it's about pacing your work carefully, but it's about consistency and perseverance, you'll end up making better decisions. If you think it's taking too long, reflect on it again. I want to encourage you, if you have got that attitude, that state of heart right now, it's taking too long, reflect on it again. It's perfectly normal that if you have run a restaurant, isn't the most famous yet. It's okay, because you're just starting out. Many of you are just starting out. So keep up with what you're doing. Improve on areas that need improving. And in time, you will get there. Keep on improving and honouring your craft. If you think it's the best that you can do, look for other areas that you can improve on. I teach the wellness wheel. Every eight sections. So there's 8 sections in the wellness wheel, 8 pillars of wellness. Every pillar interacts with another. And if one is not working, it's going to impact all of the rest. So when we're talking about improving, we can look at all areas of our life, and we need to improve on them all. So your best critic or critique is yourself. People don't achieve their success through one go. Oh, I tell you what, I don't know anybody else suffering with a little bit of hay fever, but I am. This time of night, the rapeseed. Mind you, I love the rapeseed. I'm not complaining. So people don't achieve success through one go. Consider those sleepless nights of practice as your foundation for fighting and achieving your dreams. Don't be afraid to take on challenges. If you don't like hard work, then business is going to be a challenge for you, because you need to put in that hard work. You can't sit back on your laurels. So don't be afraid to take on challenges. When people or circumstances challenge your dreams, don't hesitate to take them head on. It may be something, I don't know, maybe you've gone for maybe you've put in for a bid on a project, or maybe, I don't know, I've got to think of something. If you're a restaurant, maybe you applied to the local council to take on a catering project, and you didn't win that bid, somebody else did. Don't give up. It's not necessarily a reflection, it's not necessarily a reflection on you. It just means that they made a different choice. They were looking for something else, and that's okay, but it doesn't mean that you're a bad person, or that you've done anything wrong, or that your restaurant is a bad restaurant, or your business idea is a bad business idea. It's just timing. It's just that the criteria, you just didn't, and maybe you were a very close choice, but don't let it hold you back. Use it to drive you forward. So don't be afraid to take on challenges. So we're all going to stumble on obstacles along the way. That's the nature of life. Life can throw us curveballs, but it's an important thing to keep moving forward despite everything else. Resist the force that hinders you. Don't allow yourself to be hindered. Keep going. They say in business you have to develop a thick skin, and I think to a degree you have to be prepared to keep going. I don't know if a thick skin is something that I have developed, because when people criticize me, it's painful. I don't like it, but it won't stop me. If anything, it's a driver for me to keep going. So be consistent. Be consistent in everything you do. Always practice and always give it your all. Never be afraid to take risks. Give consistent and excellent performance in whatever you're doing. And throughout all of that, your hard work will definitely pay off. It's not enough to just wish for your dreams to come true. You've got to work at it. Having consistency is key to every good performance. You need to pursue consistency. Every best-selling product in the shop, every perfect painting in the galleries that everybody has on the tip of their tongues now, Monet, the Mona Lisa, that came from years of dedication and development and consistency, continually painting until that one masterpiece came out. So give your business everything that you've got. Set a clear path for your dreams. So in other words, conjure up a business plan so that you've got a vision. Well, if you don't have a vision, where there's no vision, the people perish. So you need to have a vision. If you know who you are and what you want in life, then make sure to plan it out so that you can achieve it. If you don't know who you are, you're not sure what you want in life, but you've got a business plan, that business plan is never going to come to full fruition. It's always going to be a struggle because you're not aligned to that business plan, because you haven't written yourself into it, because you don't know who you are. So this is so important. The very fundamentals of setting out and running a business, you need to find out those fundamental things before you write a business plan. Because the business may get going, but when those tough times come, that's when people fall. And that's when businesses fail. So 90% of businesses fail first time round, and 80% of people will never try again. That's a huge statistic, isn't it? We don't want to be statistics. We have this opportunity before us. So having a well-made plan and knowing yourself is important. It's important in order for you to highlight the areas that you can focus on. Because if you have your map and you know where you're going, then there's no stopping you from getting there. And never give up. The most important thing to remember when fighting for your dreams is to never give up no matter what. Your dreams will only work as hard as you do. So always have hope in your heart and let no one ever stop you from aiming high. When you have a great support system of family and friends, and I had this conversation with a client today, and they said to me, they're just getting started in business. I'm really excited for them, but they had the foresight to listen to some advice of a friend that's already in business who said, see a coach before you get started. Sit down, find out your values, find out who you are, so that you can weave that into your business. Your business becomes part of you, because that is where your passion lies. And if the business is weaved around your purpose, the passion inside you will keep you going when the times are hard and tough. What great advice. What great advice. So I'm sat with this client today and we are talking about support systems, and I'm asking them about their family and friends. And they haven't actually told their family and friends about what they're going to be doing. And I said, you need to. Regardless of what you may fear they're going to say, you need to actually show your passion and ask them to support you. You don't have to ask them to come on board with you if they're not risk takers or anything like that, but you just need to share your heart. You know, have a family meal, share your heart and say, this is really on my heart. It's what I'm really going to do. I'm really excited about it. I don't need anyone's opinions, because it's okay to say that. You can put your boundaries in before you reveal what you're going to do. And then you have a conversation, get the buy-in of family and friends. But if they don't buy in straight away, don't worry about it. Keep going. Surround yourself with people who will support you. Remember that these are steps to guide you along the way. And it's important to follow these with commitment and passion. Success is not something you can conjure up overnight. Success is who you are willing to become. If you envy other people, I don't know, maybe we look around and we see successful people that are famous, superstars, successful businessmen or women. Keep in mind that it took them years of hard work, dedication and consistency and persistence, not luck, to get where they are today. But don't worry though, because if you do the same, if you apply the things that I'm saying, you'll fight. And if you apply the things that I'm saying and you're willing to fight for your dreams and you stick to your working principles, then you'll be able to achieve everything you want in life. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. And did you know that Abraham Lincoln, and these are the things that I want to encourage you with, Abraham Lincoln was faced with many opportunities to give up on his dream of being president of the United States of America. At 22 years of age, he failed in business. 1 year later, he ran for legislature and lost. At 24 years old, he experienced a second business failure. At 26 years old, he lost the woman he loved. She died, unfortunately. The next year, he suffered a nervous breakdown. At 29 years of age, he lost another political race. At 34, he made an unsuccessful run for Congress. At 37, he finally got elected to Congress, only to be defeated again 2 years later. At 46, he lost his bid for the Senate, and the next year he failed in his attempt to become vice president. At 49, he was defeated for Senate again. He had 4 sons, but only one lived to adulthood. At 51 years of age, Abraham Lincoln was elected President of the United States and successfully led the country through one of its most difficult periods. But listen to the amount of obstacles and failure that he had to go through to get where he always wanted to be. From age 22 to 51, how many years did that take? Many people would have said, no way. No way, I can't do that. I'm giving up. I get a job in Tesco's. How many people are walking around working in shops now? Don't get me wrong. I've got a friend that loves working in Tesco. She's worked there for 20 odd years and she loves it. And she's a gorgeous friend. And I wouldn't, she's a hard worker and she's brought a lot to her job. But if that's not for you, but that's where you would choose to end up, because this is a choice at the end of the day and you'd be miserable. How many people are sat in jobs in supermarkets or wherever because they've given up on their dreams and they've settled for second best? I don't know about you. I'm not going to leave this life with music still playing, settling for second best, looking back, thinking, what if? No way, Jose, am I doing that? I want to encourage you that you don't need to do that either. So every time, people in America see that penny, they can be reminded of Abraham Lincoln and his incredible tenacity to keep going. Despite those family issues, he lost his 3 of his children and his wife and had all those failures. Remember to fight for your dreams. A dream comes about with much business and painful effort, but it's worth it. Thomas Edison said, I failed my way to success. And when we think of boxers before they get into a ring to train, they train with a good coach. You need somebody coaching you and being on your side and speaking into your life. Somebody that's rubbing your metaphorical shoulders, your business shoulders. You need somebody that's going to put that mouth guard, that metaphoric mouth guard in for you to take those knocks. It's going to teach you how to duck and dive. It's going to look at what's your best strength and how to use your punch. You need to have a mentor in your life, whatever that is, however that looks for you. You might hear that term out there a lot, success coach. So in Kevin Hall's book, Aspire, he explains how the word coach originated from the horse-drawn coaches that were developed in the town of Cox, K-O-C-S. During the 15th century, these vehicles were used to transport not only royalty, but over time, they carried valuables, mail and common passengers. Kevin writes in his book, a coach remains something or someone who carries a valued person from where they are to where they want to be. Isn't that a fantastic definition? So in other words, if you have a coach in whatever arena you need a coach in, and you knew you would end up at your destination, then it would be worth it, wouldn't it? You need your very own coach. You need someone helping you grow, someone helping you improve, someone helping you increase, someone helping you enlarge to reach your destination. You will never maximize your potential in any area without coaching. It isn't possible. I have spoken to some of the top earners in this world, and they will all tell you the same thing. Andy Stanley, the next generation leader, he says, pay any price to stay in the presence of extraordinary people like coaches, a good coach. To fight for your dreams requires intense focus. And the only reason that men and women fail in business is broken focus. And we have 5 internal distractions that I'm going to finish on. Number 1 is time. How many years have gone by? Does it look like it will ever happen? So you might as well give up. That may be your mindset. Do you feel so behind already? Even a snail made it into the ark in the Bible. So don't stop because you're moving slower. James Dyson, the product Dyson, went through 5,126 prototypes and his 15 years of life savings. On his 5,127th prototype, it worked. And Dyson vacuum is now the best-selling vacuum around the world. Wow. Imagine if he had given up. He wouldn't have made as many back, would he? He would have just sat there and seen himself as a failure. The second distraction for you that will stop you fighting for your dreams is your ageism towards yourself. How old you are. Have you lived more of your life than you've left? Is your mind telling you that you've missed your golden moment, your golden opportunities to fulfill your dreams? Are you wishing you'd gotten started a long time ago? Are you comparing yourself to other people and looking at what all they've accomplished, and they're much younger than you? You need to stop comparing. Age is just a number. It's the state of mind and your heart posture that matters. Stop comparing and stop complaining. Don't fall for the lies that you're too old. You're too young to have those dreams. Don't fall for the lies of age when people tell you you're too young or you're too old. It's a distraction. Remove it. Stop it. Don't look at the years you've lost. Look at the years you've got left and use them wisely. Don't waste them. The third internal distraction is words. Negative words spoken against you can distract you from your dreams, even the words you speak to yourself. Are you allowing yourself or someone else's words spoken over you to determine whether or not you're going to do what you have been called to do? The idea that you have, the dream that you have. Elvis sang at Nashville's Grand Ole Opry. Afterwards, the concert hall's manager told Elvis he would never be a singer and he would never sing there again. And he was better off returning to Memphis to his old career of driving trucks. Think about that. If Elvis had listened to the words of that man, what would have happened? We would never have learned return to sender. Do, 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 do. Anyway, Harrison Ford was told by movie executives, you simply do not have what it takes to be a star. And yet he became the third highest grossing actor of all time. So don't let someone else's words dictate your future, no matter who it is. Even if you've got somebody else around you in your circle of influence and they're telling you that you're wrong, stop it. Don't listen to them. Maybe you need to change your circle of influence, and sometimes that is necessary. Challenging, but necessary. The fourth internal thing that will distract you from fighting for your dreams is your past. As soon as you start to get a little hope again on the inside of you, that imposter syndrome can start to manifest itself. That voice inside you that starts saying, who do you think you are? And then you're reminded of the past when maybe somebody did say to you, who do you think you are? Or if one thing that I had to overcome, my mum, God bless her, she said to me when I was little, oh, stop showing off. And in that heartbeat, it did something in me that I really had to work on when I started business, because it started to become an earworm. She didn't mean it. And when I had a conversation with her as an adult, she thought, oh, if I'd have known that it would have affected you in that way, I never would have said it. So think about that. People aren't always aware about what they're saying, and they don't always say these things on purpose, but we can take them in. So be mindful of who you're listening to, what you're listening to. And if you have something that you need to deal with, a limiting belief, then deal with it. Find someone to help you that specializes in that area. So don't allow your past to dictate your future, because you deserve success. Stop listening to the lies of the past. Right now, you have a future ahead of you, and it's yours to grab. Seize the opportunity. And the fifth and final internal distractor is money. Stop letting others and your own self-talk tell you that you'll never have enough. Stop operating from a position of lack. Remember this: vision always comes first, provision comes second. Vision comes first, provision comes second. Nobody has ever had the money before the dream. Don't let a lack of money stop you from dreaming. Henry Ford invented the car. He went broke 5 times before he succeeded in business. Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper because he lacked imagination and had no good ideas. He went bankrupt 7 times before building Disneyland. Halle Berry, the actress, the girl was struggling to make it, and she ran out of money and stayed in homeless shelters. She said, it taught me how to take care of myself and that I could make it through any situation. Don't let lack of money stop you. Stay focused on your dreams. Always be aware of your weaknesses. Before a fighter ever gets in the ring, he studies his opponent. He watches him. He views him. He watches his fights on films. He watches his every move. He listens to him. He looks for his weaknesses. So you need to become a fighter. and look out into the world and see where you fit. You need to study. You need to be somebody that is looking and right. How can I come up against my competitors? If you're in a field that you know is competitive, then you need to study your competitors so that you can outwit them. That's for another life. But it's time to become more self-aware. That's the most important thing for us to fight our dreams. When we look back over our life, you'll see most of your temptations and weaknesses to walk away from times when you've maybe not succeeded, when you've made mistakes. They're all focused around the same area. When I sit down with clients and we start to look at their timeline and we start to look at highs and lows, where those lows have been, they're all circled around a pattern. So then we can deal with that, because we can start to look at, well, what does that mean? How do we change that? How do we move forward? So it's not coincidental. You need to be aware of your weaknesses, trust me. So your blind spots, so that you don't get lost in them. Before boxers ever fight in the ring, they outwit their opponent. So some of you who have got this little voice in your head, you need to outwit it. You need to deal with some stuff so you can outwit this voice in your head that is holding you back. A man called Jean-Paul Sartre once said, "Words are loaded pistols. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. Never, never, never throw in the towel." To throw in the towel means to give up the struggle, to quit the fight. Refuse to give up, refuse to quit, refuse to let yourself talk yourself out of something that is right. Determine that you're going to finish strong. Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, said, "In my own life, I've noticed that winning usually follows losing. So if achieving your dreams were easy, we would all be successful." So it's time to get up and fight for your dreams. No more shortcuts, no more quick fixes, no more trying to get through it without the struggles and avoid the hard parts. We've got to man up, woman up, and face them head on. You can do this. You've got this. You just need to go through what I've just said and say, okay, what of these things that Debbie's just said do I really need to get to grips with? Some of you, it may seem that you've got a lot to do, but that's okay, because you break it down into steps. That's why you get a coach. That's why if you're trying to build a website, that's why if you're trying to, write a book, that's why if you're trying to get fit, that's why if you're trying to move forward, you find people that can help you do all of those things, that have the expertise, that can say, this is what we need to do. So I'm going to stop there. I'm sending you lots of love. If you want to get in touch with me, please do. But for now, I'm going to say have a great rest of your evening. Make 2021 count, because you've got one life and you have every opportunity to live it. Don't let lockdown keep you locked down. It's time to unlock the gold in your life. Good night. God bless.